All right, we are now once again live. Can you guys hear my music? No, I can't. Let me fix that again. All right, there it should be good. It's very faintly ambient noise and shit. So, all right, so to this week, today we'll be finishing off all seven. That's right, 7 pages of last week's work, and yeah, so I'm gonna finish. I've already done the dialogue, although this needs a little bit of work. It's just a rough outline of what the dialogue will look like. And most of this I already like, right? This explains my power system, page 21, 22. I should probably organize these tabs here based on their pages. There we go. And here is the explanation. It's actually not a good explanation. Actually, it's okay. It's a decent explanation. It's very simple. But I feel like I need um more explaining. But I think I'm just gonna do that over time. Gene Bound Art. Hey man, welcome to the stream. I am okay. So today's plan is just to finish this particular page. I was gonna leave this page um last week for this week, but I guess I have a lot of time now. I have to finish this up. A wide shot of the place where my manga takes place in. I actually don't like these things. I think I can do better, but I don't know how. Well, I know how, but I'm looking for a new technique to do trees in black and white. For now, let's just leave it like this. We can always fix it later. At the moment, I'm just focused on the buildings, the farm plot, farm, the farm things, right? I don't know what to call it. All right, let's just continue with this thing. Tell everybody in Discord that I'm live. Got to do that. Um, where was I? What is your manga about? Um, it's about a world where we live inside of this bubble, this barrier. And at the moment, it's just an introduction to my characters. But the main plot line of the story is how they go outside of this bubble, and they want to go outside. That's the thing. It's not that the outside world is a mystery. People constantly go outside of this. It's like a shield, really. Um, but our main characters will is gonna try to do that because of. I'm not gonna try to reveal the plot. Um, it's kind of complicated. I'll explain it a bit better. Baby. Sorry, my son is like really noisy. I hope you don't hear him. It's okay. It's okay. All right, I'm gonna attempt to explain it again because I was all over the place there. So in this world, basically the world has already ended, and humanity just lives inside of this shield. Okay, it's very reminiscent of Attack on Titan. Okay, it's like that's one of my um inspiration to why I'm doing this. So, but that's the only thing that I got from it. Jeez, my son is like so noisy right now. Hold on, give me a sec. Yung mga ano, masalita. I have to apologize so much to your sons. We love him. Yeah, but I can't. You know, in the middle of talking, he just kind of yells randomly. Hard to. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Um. So yeah, it's hard for me to concentrate, and also, uh, have him yell in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear him though, because my noise cancellation thing is quite aggressive. No noise, don't worry. Okay, all right. Yeah, but I can hear him. All right. So where was I? So yeah, there's this shield again, reminiscent of Attack on Titan. It's one of my inspirations. Blah blah blah. Blah. That's what I said. I'm just trying to recall what I said. Okay, pick up where I left off. But in our main character, there's two of them. But in chapter one, I'm more focused on the female character. Chapter two will be at the end of chapter one will be more focused on the guy character, the Aki. And so Hikari doesn't have her memories except for a few things, right? One of them is a woman trying to tell her to go outside of the wall, find her beyond the wall is like the last thing she remembers. And she doesn't know this woman, again, no memory, without any memories, she doesn't know who this is. um and then one day, she stumbles upon a farmhouse, and she gets kind of like gets adopted, pseudo adopt. I don't know what you call it, but she becomes kind of like part of this community. But she doesn't have any memories. She doesn't know where to go. But this community is very accepting of her, even though she looks weird because she's the only one who has like this thing with the fox ears, right? And even though she looks weird because of that, she's like accepted in this community. But one day, a letter comes, and I haven't got into this part yet. This is a bit of a spoiler, but it's okay. This is like the early stages. One day, a letter comes, um, from a person she doesn't know to find him beyond the walls, and it's like reminiscent to the woman she remembers, right? And it kind of triggers the story. I'm like being intentionally vague here. And to get to the wall, you need like permits. You need to complete quests and get permits from like the nobles. And you need to find a crew. So that's another thing is that's another big component on the earlier part of the story is to find a crew for us to go outside the walls, the barrier rather. There are also walls, um, but mainly it's I'm talking about the barrier that shields them. And there's also history without this barrier that I explain, and how it was created. But besides this wall thing, this walled world, that's basically the only thing I draw from Attack on Titan. Okay, I just like that. I just like the concept that there's something mysterious beyond the world we know. It's okay, baby. I'm sure renegade. Hmm? Ano sabi mo? Okay, thank you. I got some. My wife got me some juice. Mm, pretty nice. I love this thing. I'll show you some pages later on, which a lot I've already shown in my past stream. My one shot rather. I'll show you my one shot. It's like adventure and a friend story. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we start off with um this party, right? Well, these pages that I'm working on like 7 pages at the same time right now. Most of this is already finished anyway. I just need to refine the dialogue a little bit. But these two are our main character, the boy here, as well as the girl here. And she's supported. There's a couple of supporting characters too. The gang, these group of friends. This is Joren. This is Gunga, and this is I forgot his name. I wrote it down. And but these three will also join us as supporting characters later on, right? When we leave when we leave for an adventure. But this is basically like the Fellowship of the Ring type of scenario. We're just setting up for what's to come. And the goal for chapter one is to create a mystery and then answer a couple of them. For example, or answer what the power system is, who our main and protagonists are, who the main villains are. That's the goal for chapter one. And then chapter two is also and the driving factor as to why we care about the story, right? That's the goal for chapter one. And chapter one's quite long. It's like 60 pages long. I'm actually trying to think how that I might just divide that into 2 chapters. But again, being a fan of Attack on Titan, it's like it's like Attack on Titan is like 60 pages long chapters, right? All right, Lord of the Ring is based. It is. It's one of my favorite fantasy stories of all time, and just stories in general, right? It's pretty good. So just a preview of some of the pages. This is how how I explain my power system. Well, one of the power systems, and like the lower tier of this quote unquote system, the rune stones, right? So these stones over here, if you lace it, if you affix it to a frying pan, this is the rune of durability. If you put it in the frying pan, it's gonna make it more durable, almost impossible to destroy. And this is rune of acceleration. If you put it in your shoes, it'll make you run faster or move faster. This system isn't necessarily just for combat. Actually, I thought of this system um, just as much for utility as well as combat, and that's why I'm explaining it quite boringly here, right? A frying pan and the shoes instead of a sword and bow and arrows or guns or whatever. Um, I'm a big believer that you don't have to have weapons as to be cool. I mean, of course, those are really cool, right? And important as well later on down when we get into the action. But if you can make something cool without having those things, then I think you have something special. For some reason, this juice is making me more thirsty every time I drink it. But it's so good. Okay, let's just finish this page. And to refine this tree line here, it looks pretty shitty. It looks good from a distance, right? But when you zoom in, it looks really bad. mm. All right, we'll finish one side. I like to pick a side and then go from there. So this is basically a river now. Your coin system is like the system in my manga. Really? I actually got it from. Well, it's original to me. It's not really original to me. Most of it, let's say 60 to 70% of it is original to me. I hope it is. You know, I mean, it's not like there's probably something similar out there that I don't know about. But I would like to say 60 to 70% of it I thought of myself, and then the rest of them are the rest of the ideas I got from WeChat Atelier and also Full Metal Alchemist. Um, with the affixes, you know, as well as the runes being having different properties based on where they actually, you know, that I thought that that was inspired by Witch Atelier, because originally I had the I had the runes and their property be tied to the shape of the runes inscribed on the coin, but now I have I have its properties tied to the material, and the inscription, the sigil, is just it's a non-factor. It's just a reminder. You know, it's like a naming convention to, okay, this is what this rune does. Let's put something in there to identify it as a rune of durability, for example. So instead of having the power come from the sigil, like Witchet Atelier, it comes from the material instead, the actual rock that it's made out of. There's tiers to it too. Like there's rune stones, which is what we saw earlier in my page, and there are also rune coins, which is a much more refined version of the rune stone. Okay, and they're much more potent that way. I also plan to make a comic book soon, but currently busy with old projects. One project at a time, man. You know what? If you ever do end up making that a reality, making your own own comic book slash manga, uh, should join my Discord. Just a random plug. I'm gonna link it to my chat, and yeah, my community is mostly manga slash comic book based. You know, and I would love to see it one day. Also, hi, hey man. Well, theme. Mine is theme, comes from human sweat glands, and the humans learned to transfer it to their weapons and armor. Also, the same. I think something similar. Yeah, there's something like that. I mean, the rune of durability. I just used a frying pan earlier, but you can also put it in for example, your suit, and it'll make you more durable. Your suit more durable, right? You can take punches, or you don't have to put rune of acceleration in your shoes. You can also put rune of durability in your shoes, and you can survive fall damage, something like that. We can be really creative about your power system that way. I see a power system as if you are investigating a crime, and the tools you have to solve the crime is your power system, right? So, for example, there's a fight scene, and it's a complicated fight scene, and our hero is backed into a corner, and that's sort of like a puzzle. If you apply the power system into this crime scene, right? It's like a puzzle, and the power system is the thing to use to solve the puzzle. Does that make sense? I get an idea from combination of Naruto, Might Guy technique, and Luffy's second gear from One Piece. I don't know. Can you is it like that? The way you described it, I can sort of see it. Yeah. This perspective is totally wonky, but the thing is that this house is so small. I don't really care about the perspective at the moment. I'm not really detailing it as much as I would like to, which is probably one of my weaker points, right? I could probably detail this and make it look really good. Actually, it's kind of bothering me now. Let's just make it perspectively correct, right? That looks okay. Still pretty wrong. This should go down a little bit more. I always try to forget to draw a guide for these things, which is again my one of my weaker points when it comes to art. Okay, just joined your Discord. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's a small community at the moment, but I'm trying to grow it to something hopefully big one day, you know? Except instead of using muscles, my characters use weapons. Hmm, interesting. I can't really think about it. How the theme? It's actually kind of gross. It comes from theme. I'm not sure how I can imagine. I'm trying to imagine your power system. Okay. Give me one sec. How do you draw water in manga form? Let me actually find a reference. I've never done that before. Mm, wow. I think this is Vagabond. Pretty crazy, right? Wait, look at this thing. Really good. But also at the same time, very difficult to make. I can probably do something like that. Because this part here is water. But I think your perspective is fine. It's better than 3D in manga anyway. Well, I actually don't mind 3D in manga. Wait, in 3D in manga, have you ever seen anything like that? Well, what I'm trying to say, I said I don't want to detail these houses too much. They're really tiny, and I'm trying to look at the big picture, right? All right, let's try to draw this river. So, from my reference, it should mostly be black. So let's try to work backwards. So it's black, and then we're gonna carve out the white. It sounds really racist. I've seen a lot, dude, using 3D models. I hate it. It looks lifeless. Hmm. I've never seen a manga use 3D models, but I'm sure it exists. Ah, this actually doesn't look that bad now. I sort of kind of see the water. I don't know. What do you guys think? I sort of kind of see it, right? This thing as water. This is supposed to be a river. This This entire thing is supposed to be a river. Let me just make it a lot more clearer. For what I tried, the Vinland Saga water looks doable. Vinland Saga. I've never read Vinland Saga. Ah, yeah. You know what? You're right. It looks super easy. I mean, just the water effect in general, not like the river. This thing right here. I mean, that's water, right? It's like a lake. That's just a gradient screen tone with some white in it. We could do something like that. Give me a second. I'm just gonna turn my fan on. I'm sweating balls here. We're gonna detail this later. It's supposed to be small fence and maybe a road here, right? Again, we'll detail that later. I don't know. I kind of it's not good. I don't like it. I don't like the water effect that I made there. But we'll do that again. We'll probably just do something like Vinland Saga. Really nice suggestion, by the way. So that means that I have to do this way later when I try to do the grays. I add the grays. Let's just focus on this slope here that leads to the river. So this is like a small cliff, a slope going this way, and then the river, right? This thing should be water. It'll be a lot clearer later when I render this. Fun fact: Gay 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 Gay, the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, used 3D models for his fight scenes. um, I've never seen that. I've never read JJK. I actually watched the anime. I'm sorry guys, I'm not a fan. I couldn't get into it, and I tried, by the way. I like Gojo as a character. I just couldn't get into the main character at all. Hey, my suggestion works. Hell yeah. Let's have a fence here that's kind of broken. All right, it's sloping like that. It's okay to use 3D, but the final work must be extremely hand drawn in my taste. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Use 3D, use trace, whatever. Do what you have to do. As long as you're honest about it, it's fine. I'm not really one of these artists that are purists, to be honest with you. do whatever, do whatever you want. It's okay. Not everybody has to like the work. It's fine that everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, for big fight scenes, he uses 3D models to stage the crew. Mm. I know an manga. I forgot her name. Um, I forgot her name. But what he does is was it even a he or she? I just saw a video about it, right? That where um she traces the pose first from another anime, and then what she does is she redraws that again without the trace. There are people like that, you know. And I don't have a problem with things like that, you know, when you trace. But as long as you're honest about it, it's fine. I don't really care. What matters to me is your honesty and also the end result. As long as you're not scamming people. Or maybe you know, maybe I do care sometimes when you know people use AI and then claim it as their own. Maybe that's a problem. Yeah, I'll probably draw the line there. But all these things, you know, using 3D, I don't give a shit. Okay, this looks good already. I might just extend. Here's a trick that I do. Just copy this, and then let's just paste that here. Boom, instant. Lazy, I know. I actually don't know how to use 3D models. I believe it's a feature in Clip Studio Paint, right? 3D references where you can move stuff around and edit them based on you know the look that you want. For me, if I ever need a reference, I just look at the reference and then copy that. Maybe change a few things here and there. Okay, that looks good now. Better use Blender. Get a boy model. Yeah, I think it's pretty robust. The options in Clip Studio. I've seen that in action. I just don't know how to do it. I can't work with Clip Studio, man. It's too. I don't know. I'm just stuck with Photoshop now. That has an endless amount of models. I did try to learn Blender one time. Sorry. Ooh, I'm about to sneeze. You know that feeling when you're about to sneeze but you don't sneeze? Hate that. I just had that now, just now. Add some like rocks here, maybe. It's a very shallow river. Not supposed to be deep and all. But it's shaping up to be something at least. I mean, it's a lot clearer now that it's a river, right? Than earlier. That's some plant. I mean, I use a lot of cheats like plants right here. Make a quick bush. I know, right? Gloomy. Okay, that looks good. Just small patches. Now make the road here. Later on, we're also gonna darken this thing because it's set in the nighttime. Elias, sup, Jingo Unchained, Jingo Unchained. By the way, how good was that movie? I love that movie. Actually, the movie was all right. I wouldn't say I love it. I liked it. My favorite part was it's Django with a D. It's Django. The D is silent. That's the one. There's actually a bit of backstory to what Jingo. I mean, that's not my real name. Okay. Uh, Jingo is the nickname for my late father, and he was an artist in his own time too. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna dedicate something to my dad. Right. I never actually got to know him. He died when I was very, very young. I was like 5 years old. So it's like, okay, let's dedicate something. And his brother, who's the one who raised me, his brother and his mother, my grandmother, is the one who raised me. You know, are the one who raised me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate something to my dad. Let's name the channel and my entire brand as Jingo. My dad. Well, I've seen my father's drawing, and you know they're not as good as mine. No, I'm just joking. They were pretty bonkers. He was a photorealist. What do you call those artists? He does photorealism, and dude, it was so good. I wish that I still have his drawing book. That'd be good content. But I believe I left it in Australia with my auntie and my grandmother's sister. I left it there when I went to school there. Like I don't know if he's I don't know if she still has it. But it'll be good content. I don't think you can call him a photorealist, but he does a lot of realistic artwork, right? Charcoal and pencil drawings, things like that. Um, but my mom tells stories about my dad, about his art and shit. I like how me and you draw foliage flat black and then white. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out because I don't really like this white stuff in my trees. So, but I want to add something here, some noise, right? Actually, looking at it now, it looks okay. So I want to get some references. Um, I literally just type manga and then whatever reference that I need, right? Manga forest, for example. Okay, this one's a very popular panel. I believe this is from. Oh, what the hell is this? Uh, I believe this is from Vinland Saga, or is this just a reference? But it looks okay. The problem is that there's some grays in there, which could be half tones. I can't really tell. How am I gonna do something like that? It's crazy. I need something simpler, okay? Something like in my skill level. Dude, Vagabond's Forest looks really good. Hmm. I mean, who has time to draw something like this, right? Look at this thing. See if I can open it. It looks so good. Dude, how? Okay, we could probably do something like that. I think. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, how are we gonna approach this thing? I probably need a brush for that. Let's explore some of my brush first. If push comes to shove, I'll just draw it manually, which is will take me a long time to do. Oh, that looks good, right? But there's some grace to it, which I don't like. Oh man, but it does look good. Okay, okay, we'll just do something like that. I'm gonna break a little bit of a manga rule. Need to draw leaves one by one. Yeah, right. Need a leaf brush. I do have a leaf brush, but it's not as good as that one. Okay, I believe they what's his name, Inoue, the the artist for Vagabond does it leaf by leaf. You're absolutely right. That looks okay, right? Okay, go sleep. Wake up early tomorrow. Hey, right, man. Take care. I don't like it still. I'm kind of tempted of just actually drawing it leaf by leaf. Have a good stream. Yeah, thanks, man. You take care, okay? Like I'm tempted of just doing hatching lines like I normally do. I don't know. Okay, you know what? For now, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna go back to hatching lines because I don't like this. There's some potential with this texture here, but it's not here. Actually, you know what? If I erase this part here, oh, that actually looks a little bit better. I think it's just about carving the shape. I'm gonna go back to it. Okay, I'm gonna trust the process and just keep going with this thing. Maybe it will look better once the thing is actually finished. And I am kind of breaking a bit of a manga rule here, which is no grays, and there's like grays there, right? Um, I'm just gonna break it a little bit, okay? No big deal. It just kind of looks like it's fogged. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm a bit of a. I'm stuck. I'm gonna keep drawing. I'm gonna leave that for now, and I'm just gonna focus on something else instead, and maybe that will grow on me. If if ever if ever this doesn't work, I'm just gonna go back to hatching lines. Okay, this is the thing that I know how to draw well.
Sous la lumière d'un soir tranquille, nos pas s'effacent, tout est fragile. Un souffle chaud glisse entre nous, le temps s'incline, tout est flou. Les souvenirs dansent en silence.
In fact, I'm gonna do a little bit of hatching lines here. See if this actually works. But it is a bit grueling because I need to draw small. Almost drawing it leaf by leaf, almost. This house doesn't make sense actually. I need to add stairs, which is not really accurate to the era, but it's okay. Small thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. Okay, I like that. You know, maybe I will just go back to the hatching lines. It looks more um it looks more in line with my art style than doing something like this. I might also fix that tree line. It looks pretty shitty. Let's fix something like this, right? I wonder if I can do something like this. And then something like that. Combine that with hatching lines. See where that goes. Not bad. I like it. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's do something like that. And black. Yeah, it adds a little bit of shape. Where are my trees? No. Is that it? Uh, that looks good. Bumps. Go back to this. Okay, I like the combination. Okay, I think we got something special here. Discovering something like this is pretty exciting for me because this is just the beginning stage of this technique. I mean, I could just imagine drawing for a year like this, and what else I can, what skill I can bring out of this, right? So I have read this is really painful, but I like it. Uh, all mangas are masochist, make things harder for themselves. Huh, not bad. Hmm, not bad at all. Continue. I'm not happy with it yet, but I think it's possible now. I kind of, it's okay. This style, um, it could be better, definitely. The thing is, I'm having trouble with the black and white technique. To be honest with you, this could be really easy if I could add some grays. I could make this look really, really good. But it's okay. All right. I don't like this blocking the view of the bridge there. Hmm, not bad. It actually looks better than doing something like this. Too busy. Maybe just doing it all black looks like looks better. I'm happy with that. Hmm. Okay, almost done here. Just these houses and detail this road. So I've been dreading to draw these houses, eh? Because I don't think I drew them well enough. I'm not really good at drawing these houses this small. And to be honest with you, I'm making it along as I go. I'm making it up as I go. But this would be the biggest page I have drawn so far. Well, maybe second biggest. Mhm. All right, this is almost done. I think I just need to detail out some of the ground. Fix some of the trees here and here too. Some hatching lines for the roofs here, some darker parts for the house. I also need to render this, which means adding gray tones by adding gray tones through screen tones, or adding an illusion of gray by creating screen tones. But we're gonna take a bit of a break, and now we're gonna jump to the other pages because I need to fix the dialogue for them, which is really easy to do. But it's a nice break from drawing so many hatching lines. So I just need to uh, do this, for example, figure out who says who, and add black outlines to these, something like that, right? And we're gonna move this a little bit just so we can see the girl here a little bit more. Hey, baby. My son's here again. Okay, that looks good. Flows really well. Start off here. Maybe I could even start off here. Oops. Here, right? There's like an disembodied narrator here. So this dialogue is not really final yet, but it kind of shows what I'm trying to say here, right? I need to run this through an editor first, and then uh improve on the grammar, the spelling, things like that. I'm pretty sure I misspelled some of these things, but the flow should, but it does flow nicely. I'm gonna bring this down here. Nah, it's fine. Down here. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. All right, next one, page 20. This one's a bit tricky because there is a speech bubble that's behind the character here, just so we can see it a bit more. Oh yeah, and this shouldn't be circle. It should be square. Okay. Again, square. Like that. Because he is speaking off panel here. Oh, and this one too. There you go. Just move this right there. Then here. Boom. We're gonna do the same with this. There you go. I might just move this just a tad bit down. We get that nice overlap here. Next one. Okay. Oh, this needs some help. What was I doing with this page? I forgot. I totally forgot. Hmm. Because it's supposed to look like that, right? Oh yeah, I remember now. I was trying to edit this girl's face. It looks too long. I'm gonna give her a big expression, biting this thing. Okay, it's nice. I like it. Now, I merged it to a single layer, so I need to flip this panel. The dialogue makes sense. Okay, very good. He says something first, then Hikari, then Aki. So, uh, a rune stone, that should be her, him, light explanation, do that again, stroke, outline. Okay, that looks good. Right? Goes well. Boom. Here. This thing might actually benefit from being here because now it flows nicely, right? Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's just fix that. Okay, that works. Now it flows nice. The dialogue flows nicely. And here, down here. So just a little bit of a tip when you're trying to do dialogue. Since it's a manga, it starts from right, and you want the dialogue to also flow from panel to panel, right? So we start here, obviously, and then here, and bounce here, and then bounce to the second panel. So that's very smooth. And then naturally we go here, and then we bounce downwards, and then we bounce downwards, right? And then we bounce here. Bang. I also use the flow of the hand here. So that while you're reading, right? You're reading here, and you go with the hands, and then you naturally go to the next panel. That's where my mind is at when I'm trying to design these things. Okay, next one. This one. Make Give that to him. Give this download to her. And I like to add this connecting tissue here with the dialogue to imply that she is speaking in between these two things, these two speech bubble. That looks good. Next one, last one. So this is a cut to the action. But there will be pages in between these. I don't really like the flow of these pages just yet. Tons to improve, guys. But it gives me sort of like a vision already, right? of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm gonna save these now so that they can be its own file. Hmm. Thank you, baby. Love you. It's my son, by the way. Gave me some food. So what I'm doing, guys, is just extracting the file now into exporting it to JPEG rather. So, and my process for this week's pages is I'm gonna look at them and see what's missing and see what could be improved. And so this week will be more of a revision week for my pages. And I've already done a little bit of that by writing pages in between because this page over here and this page over here kind of just cuts abruptly. And also this page here, this one, page 20 and 21 does the same thing. So I'm thinking of after the party, because my original thinking was that the party should be over after this scene here, where they give a toast to everybody, and shout out to Hikari here to our protagonist. So my thought was that okay, we're gonna end the party here, but I was thinking I would could add a little bit more pages, around 10 pages or so, maybe less than that. Three or four pages where they sneak out on the party. The kid sneaks out and go to a lake on top of a mountain, which is also near the barrier that I talked about earlier. And we can see the shield, right? We can see the barrier from this mountain, and Hikari is just enamored by its beauty. Uh, and that way I could explain what the barrier is finally. um, and what the world they're kind of living in. I currently have about 11 pages written with that entire sequence. That could be an entire chapter on its own, to be honest with you. So I'm thinking of really dividing these sequence into just like 15, 20 pages chapters. But originally I wanted a 60 page chapter, similar to Attack on Titan. Again, big Attack on Titan fan here. But yeah. All right, let's just go back to drawing this thing. This is almost done. I just need to add a little bit of noise with the ground, things like these. We could always go back to this, but I really want to finish the pages since my work week is about to start, and tomorrow is a Monday for me. I don't want to draw tomorrow. I don't want to do anything. It's like a break, right? So that I don't get burnt out. So tomorrow, no, there's not gonna be any work, no stream. It's my break, and then Tuesday I go back to work, right? Drawing my pages again and drawing commissioned work. Maybe there's like fencing here. Just adding some random stuff, right? Carts that are left around, maybe. Drawing something very simple. Um, let's see what else can we can add. Some rocks. right? Things like that. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna start rendering it now. Yeah, I totally like it. Okay, this is enough. Let's start rendering it. Gonna be black here since it's nighttime. Let's start with the sky first. Ominous clouds. And then let's add some green tones. Ooh, that looks nice, right? Here, we're gonna start with screen tones. Okay, we're gonna replace the gray with screen tones. Whoops, but I made a mistake there. And we're gonna erase our way. Um, where's my lighter screen tone? Here it is. We're gonna erase our way. Um, rendering this thing. Actually, I could lower the drawing here. There we go. I want a fair bit of the sky to be shown. Okay. Interesting. Why is that happening? Hey, comic bookworm. Hey, Jingo. Hey, man. Welcome to the stream. Just finishing up this page. What is up? Okay, this is shaping up now to be something that I like. I was struggling with the forest earlier. Zonap, hey man, welcome to the stream, buddy, from Twitch. I always look at my Twitch chat last, and somebody always chats, and I'm like, okay, they probably have left already. And that's probably why my Twitch isn't growing as fast as my YouTube, because I tend to ignore the Twitch chat quite a lot since nobody watches it anyway. Well, occasionally I get a few chatters, and I really want to grow my Twitch and address the people chatting. However, it's just a bad habit that I don't look at it anymore. Me, bro. Hey, Ronak, welcome to the stream, buddy. What are you doing? What's everybody doing? Working with screen tones is kind of terrible. I don't like it because if I zoom in and there's like these dots, it kind of throws me off. It gives me a headache sometimes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello, I remember you. Of course, we have uh we have an interview. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. In fact, I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm kind of excited. Would you call this my first collaboration ever? You know, it's exciting for me, man. I mean, I'm a small YouTuber, but yeah, I do remember you. It's gonna be live, right? The interview. God, I hope I do a good job. I'm so nervous about it. It's like I don't speak very well, but I'll do my best anyway. I've seen some of your interviews and they're really good. And it's like just chilling, in between friends. Less pressure for me that way. This is live. Yeah, it's okay. Exciting. You're also to broadcast to broadcast on your stream. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that too. Hopefully my son isn't too loud that day, and hopefully your audience don't mind, or for that matter, you don't mind. Bro, what's the name of your manga? It's called Final Fortress. Um, it's because the world revolves around this fortress, the final fortress of humanity. Talking about my manga, it's I like the story, but the way I personally explain it, I I don't think I'm articulate enough to explain it in a way that's not cringy. But that's just me though. It's none of this out. None of the mangas is out yet. But I do plan to release it soon once I'm happy with the story. Yeah. Snow scenery? Not really, but I'm gonna cover the white stuff with a grayer, a lighter gray tone once I finish. Um, just what you call it, rendering this thing. So I have this lighter tone here. So it's gonna go like that, like that. Just to separate some of the areas. Well, this is supposed to be a farmland, and during the night, right? Actually, speaking of snow, this takes place after the winter, and the setting is that the people here are celebrating the surviving a harsh winter, and this full page spreads kind of just set the scene. And I also wanted a spread for the setting, so I can actually at least showcase what the world looks like just a little bit. Okay, the water here. This is supposed to be a river. So we're gonna make this a little bit lighter. Okay, this should be ready now. See? Something like that. Let's start with the mountains. Oh, and there's gonna be some energy field here in the background too, which I'll get to later. That'll be fun to do. You can barely see it, right? The lighter gray. Bro, where can I read your manga? I can't read it yet. It's not out. I'm still making it. This is literally chapter one, the pages that I'm drawing. However, I believe I've made a one shot of it, um, which I haven't released yet as well. But it was a thing that I submitted for Kodokawa's World Manga Contest. I don't really want to release anything until I'm happy with the story. Right now I am happy with the story, but the story that I'm making isn't finished yet. So you'll have to wait, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, let's add the effect for the barrier, which should be here. I'm gonna break some manga rules and actually add a gray tone. Okay, because I'm not gonna be using any screen tones here. So far, the grays that you've seen are just screen tones. What in the world is that? Okay, we'll delete this for now. And I think the clouds, I made a mistake here by drawing I'm gonna erase the clouds for now. So there's like this massive glow here, right in the background. So now there's a bit of a gray tone here, right? There's that a nice gray gradient. And we're gonna add a pattern similar to what you see on water when it meets light. Gonna draw something like this. And this is like a massive barrier, right? And it's like flowing energy from behind this mountain. And because the people in this world live within a barrier, like a shield, a force field. And the main story point is that they need to find a crew to be able to go outside the barrier. And for now, the barrier itself, the lands outside of the barrier, it's not a mystery to the people who are living in here, but I want it to be a mystery to the readers, right? It's like they constantly go out through expeditions outside the barrier to gather resources and stuff, special materials that can only be found outside of it. Things like that. So to be able to get to be able to um uh what do you call it, to be able to go to a, damn it, I can't speak English at the moment. See what I mean, man? uh Let me try again. To go outside of the barrier, you need like special permits, and to get the permit, you need to complete quest for the kings, in this area, in this world, right? And there are you need to complete a quest basically. So there are different kind of quests, and I have this system called the bounty system. Oh, well, the quest log system. That's the one. So there are different tiers of quest logs. Uh, royal quest Royal quest logs gives you that favor, so that a king has to sign you off, or a baron has to sign you off. Like, okay, you've done a favor to the continent or to the kingdom, so I'm gonna give you a favor, and you'll be able to use that favor to go outside the barrier. Hopefully that makes sense. And so you need like four of these from different kingdoms to be able to go outside. Don't worry, great to know you're not AI. Did you say AI? Oh, okay, I don't have my glasses. No, I don't use AI. Why did you think I was using AI? It's fine, by the way, if you think that it's okay. I'm not easily offended, or you know, I don't really care about that stuff. We're gonna add some effects here later too, just to really sell the scene. For now, I'm just shaping the energy field that's covering this thing. Um, I should probably also draw the barrier in some of my panels here. It won't be visible uh by these distance, right? I mean here, right? I could solely draw the barrier behind this. That's okay. I don't need to. What about here? I think it'll be appropriate here in this panel. I was joking. If you make human mistakes, that's proof that you're not AI. Well, I have been in the past, like around 2 years ago, I have been accused of using AI, and ever since then, I have been very careful not to make like mistakes in general, okay? Not just like mistakes that AI make. And in a weird way, I think that accusation made me a better artist because now I'm really I'm being careful and therefore my it results to a better artwork. Uh, yeah, I didn't even draw that well a few years ago. I mean, I drew okay, but what I mean to say is I'm not as good as I am now. I don't really consider myself being good anyway. I know I'm decent, but compared to my peers, I'm nothing. It's nothing. I was just looking at Vagabond's references as a Vagabond's panels as a reference earlier, on how Inoue does the forest, draw their forest, draw his forest, and dude, I was just so crazy, inhuman level of patience. I'm not quite happy with this thing. It just looks like thunder, right? Not supposed to be thunder. It's supposed to be flowy kind of energy. Maybe I just need to trust the process. I have this thing in my head though, like a vision of it, but I'm not executing it as well as I can. Oh, that's actually improved it. The thicker white. Man, that sounds so wrong, right? When I say it that way, thicker white. I mean, just you know, variation of thick and thin, white lines here. It kind of improved it. Maybe I should change the song. This is copyrighted. I don't even know if my YouTube can hear it. Just in case.
Le temps s'arrête sur ta main, une étincelle coule au loin. Le monde respire si lentement, comme un souffle hors du temps. Les heures flottent dans la lumière, tout se dépose, tout est clair. Tes yeux m'appellent sans un mot, je m'y perds et je reste haut. Le temps suspendu, rêve tranquille, chaque seconde devient subtil. Le temps suspendu, doux instant où tout se tient simplement.
I'm hearing the music and I'm viewing your YouTube channel. Hey,
Sous la brume
nice.
de nos souvenirs dansent sur la peau. Un
Yeah, I'm very new to
souffle
this YouTube thing.
rien
I'm just learning as I go. You know, how to work with thumbnails, how to make better title. Um, I tried titles that are clickbaity. They work sometimes, but at the same time, there are some of my videos that does really well by my standards, at least, with a very simple title. So it's kind of confusing. I still don't know how it works. And yeah, some of my videos recently has been doing really well. I'm quite excited about it. I mean, this month I think the channel grew 400 subscribe, all close to 400 subscribers. Um, just this April, right? And I think I only uploaded 2 or 3 videos. I think 2 videos this month. I got one more video coming on Friday because I am trying to do this as a weekly thing. Okay, now this is closer to the look that I'm looking for, but still not enough. I need to add a bit more flow to it. Yeah, something like that. Maybe we can add some distortion. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Keep at it. You're making legit content. Hey, yeah. Hopefully. All right, now we're gonna add some glow. Again, I'm gonna break a manga rule here. So you're not supposed to add glows, right? Something like that. I might just skip the clouds because I think the clouds will just. I'm gonna try making clouds. See if it works. I don't know. It just looks like fog now. You're such a very good artist. I respect you. Sorry for my bad English, dude. My English is like a lot worse than yours. Okay, don't apologize. But thank you, man. Yeah, I think the cloud just makes it worse. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the clouds. This is good enough. It's an artificial sky anyway. You know what? I got an idea. Whoa, crap. Sorry. I got an idea. Huh. That actually looks okay without the gradient. I'll try my idea. I'm not sure if this will make it look better. But you know, you gotta experiment a little bit sometimes. Guys, your English is just fine. Thanks, man. It's my second language, okay? Hmm. I don't know if I like that. There's something to it, and it's making me avoid using grays. Hi, baby. Malapit na ako. Sorry, that was my son. Hopefully, he wasn't too loud. I do like the glow too. Yeah, but I'm trying to avoid using gradients. You know, because it's like a rule in manga where you can't use gray. Instead, you use green tones. But I'm already breaking that rule here, which I'm fine with, by the way. I do like the gray, this glow here a lot better. We'll keep the glow for now, and I don't really want to add too much to this. I'm trying to keep it simple. You know what? I have an idea. We can probably change the colors of the mountains just a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna add a different shade of green tones. Let's try this. It's the same. What about this? That's too much. You know what? I like the other one. This one. Okay. Because there's a bit of a glow here, right? It's not completely nighttime. It's there's this light coming from this force field from the distance. So we're gonna also add that here. I could probably make this 10 times better if I could use some grace, right? I'm not really used to this, to be honest with you. But I'm trying my best to learn this art form. So you gotta stick to it, man. You can't just give up just because you know you can't. You're not as good as uh you can be just yet. I already really like this though. Add some variations here, right? And the roof. Just a little bit. No need to go all out. I mean that's fine. Are the mountains here part of your asset? You're collect. No, this is completely hand drawn. I didn't use any assets. I only use assets when it comes to panels that doesn't really need to emphasize the background. You know, when you just want to add something like a noisy background, right? And you want to add buildings, for example, and the background isn't the focal point. So I just use that there. But for panels that the backgrounds are important, I usually just draw that manually. Like this one. This is like a background heavy panel. But to your point, though, I could totally just copy this mountain range and turn it to an asset. But I want to make it unique to this page in particular. So that should conclude the 7 pages that I did this week. So this is page 17. This is page 18. So it's like the context here. Actually, it might be a good idea to just show you the pages that I've done so far and talk about the manga for a little bit, yeah? Because this would be my fourth. Is it my wait? Let me count. That's the first one, second one, third one. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, this is the seventh iteration of my story. Okay, I've drawn so many pages that are abandoned now. You still say it's same mountain in your smaller panels. Oh, it's just the same style. I believe it's this, right? Actually, let me open up my asset thing here. You're talking about this mountain range here, which is just drawn a bit similarly to the mountain range that I did here, but it's different. What was I gonna say? So this is my seventh iteration for the manga. I won't show you all of them. I'll show you some. This is the version I submitted in Kodokawa's competition, which is a chapter out of somewhere down the line, right? She's a bit grown up here. And the reason why I didn't like this I actually don't like this. I actually, I take it back. I like this, but I don't like this as a introduction or a one shot to my story, because I believe I rushed a lot of things here. I like the story beats, right? But I rushed a lot of things, like the introduction to the world. It's incredibly rushed. Um, this is the cover page. So yeah, this is like the fall of the gods, for example. It's really cringy for me to talk about it. Okay, so and seven thunder gods sacrificed their life force to create this force field that protects the last vestige of humanity. And it's like being narrated by our main character, right, Hikari here. And I kind of wrote her here a little bit differently from how I'm writing her now. She's a bit more gung ho here, just a very loud character. Which she'll become something like that, but maybe a lot less so here than here. So this is my first iteration. It starts with Virgil Village, the medieval part of the medieval region of my world. Um, so yeah, this is Virgil Village, small village famous for food markets, right? I kind of this is kind of inspired by the Tonbori in Japan because I was there and I saw this like weird and funny signage in the Tonbori, and I kind of included it here. You know, there's like this cartoonish kind of signage everywhere, since this place is famous for its like food markets, right? So that's the inspiration for this place, and we kind of see the characters that I intend to write. Senor Nestor, and Senor is a title here, right? Held by like 10 people, and it's they're supposed to be like the most loyal and strongest fighters in all of Montefacio. Montefacio is the again medieval area um in my world. And yeah, she this again more pages here. So this is like the last version of my manga. I'll show you the very first one and how my character has evolved since. Give me a sec. Let me just pull that here. My bigger monitor. Where is it? I hope I can find it. Is it this one? No. If I can't find it, it's I'll just skip the very first. It's been a while, and my is it this one? No, I've lost it, guys. All right. I'll just show you the second iteration, okay? Which is this thing here, and she doesn't have her ears yet. In this version, I thought I saw the same mountain. Cool. I saw the same mountains on one of those panels. Yeah, yeah, I did copy paste that mountains. So this is the first version, and you can see some of these I just recycled because this is an abandoned page anyway. And she powers up the barrier and kills some monsters here. And this story has changed so much. What's the story behind the decorated for? What's the significance of the decorated frame border of the panel? I usually decorate my panels with a really nice ornate frames when I'm trying to introduce a character. I believe you're talking about Senior Nestor. Let me get back to that page. Uh, where is it? Sorry, guys. Where is my Senior Nestor page? This one, right? Where it's framed. So this is the first time I introduced a big character, Senior Nestor, to the story. So I thought that okay, let's frame him up. It's an important panel, and he's gonna be an important character later on. I do that a lot. I'll show you another example. Not just characters, but also sceneries. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one's my favorite framed panel from for Senior Nestor, where Aki here is explaining what he means to the world because he's a very popular character in this world. And instead of just him saying that, I put him in this kind of mural thing, as if he's kind of like some sort of saint. And it's more like depicting. It's not really happening in real time. This panel here with Senior Nestor with his arms up, it's not really happening in real time. It's just that this is how Aki sees this person, and it's manifesting into a panel. I got this idea from Kamome Shirahama's Witch Hat Atelier, right? This book here. She does it a lot with like grandiose panels. It just makes it more interesting. Very first appearance. Yeah, very first appearance. That's the right. So yeah, this is his very first appearance. I actually drew him a bit differently here too. The problem is that I have this problem where I just design the character along the way, and I add a tiny bit of detail every time I draw him, or sometimes I draw him and it's okay. Maybe it's a good detail to draw something like this. right? Give him a quote, for example, or an X mark on a tiny X mark here on his lapel, and then I kind of forget about it. And then like, okay, I'm looking back at my earlier page. Oh, I totally forgot to add those things. I see. I like that. I like that too, man. It's a trick I learned from reading Witch Hat Atelier. I haven't done too much of those recently. I should probably do that because there's some other ways I also introduce my characters, right? And not just by framing. So I kind of just you know switch it up a little bit. But that was my second iteration, and I'll show you what it looks like now. This is my very first page. There's no dialogue. It's just a very mysterious um, opener. I'm actually debating in my head right now if I should add dialogue, like a narration, for example. But I'm not quite sure where the narration will come from. And she just kind of passed out, and she kind of gets found by this old man. She dreams. This is a dream sequence, and as you can see, you've seen this page before, and I just recycled it to this new page since that was an abandoned page anyway. I don't quite know what to do with this thing, so I just used it here. I do that a lot since again I got a lot of abandoned pages. And this is the woman. This is a woman telling her to find her beyond the walls, and the walls is the barrier. And she doesn't remember much at all except for these two things, right? This battle and this woman telling her to find her beyond the walls. That's the only two things she remembers. She doesn't even remember her name, or in fact, she doesn't even. Oh, okay. She does speak here, but in my original concept is that she learns how to speak again, and yeah, she wakes up, and this child Aki trying to comfort her. I think I drew I drew his head a bit bigger here. Uh, so they're cooking, trying to teach her how to use a spoon. Gives her new clothes. Oh, okay. This is the first time he's inspecting her wounds, and it's like, okay, she's been healed. No, not a sign of scarring, and it's like implying that she has a healing factor. Um, trying to, and also another feat of strength. I'm trying to show you what she's capable of here. Lifting this thing. I think I could probably draw this a lot clearer, right? Zooming out right now, looking at it, it kind of just blends with the background. Lots of splash pages, which is more work for you. Many panels or splash page with more details. Yeah, the bigger the panels are, the more detailed it is. Um, but I do like that. I like drawing, so I kind of draw my panels big. And I think I got that from reading Trigun. I no, not Trigun. Um, I think it was Trigun. Was it Trigun or Helsing? Because one of them, right? I remember reading a manga. It was either Trigun or Helsing. And their authors draw the panels really big, like most of the time, and I kind of like that because it focuses more on the art, and I'm an artist first, you know. She kind of tries to mingle with the kids here, and these kids will become important later. And she just, there's montages of her helping out the village, and the village also, trying to help her out acclimate to the world. And she picks up Aki here from school. This thing actually means, I believe it means school. Okay, I just searched that up. I can't really read Japanese or Chinese for that matter. Uh, and yeah, there's some panels missing here. And they go to this party, and she's like dressed up all girl like here, right, with her hair back. So chapter 1 is mostly about Hikari, And chapter 2 will be exploring the second character, the second main character, which is Aki. Because I have a duotagonist kind of setup, similar to Full Metal Alchemist. And chapter 2 will focus more on the parents of Aki, which is they're going to be very important to the story and their backstory too. Paul and Sarah, that's their names. Because this old man and this child here are related, right? That's his grandfather, and his parents kind of just left him um with his grandfather, and they kind of just disappeared. But they'll become important later. This is the explanation for my power system with these rune coins. Um, I tried to do one of those frames things here again, but it didn't really work out. Do you write the story first? Yeah, I do write the story first. I also have done some world building. Will first start, right? So the story starts here in Ina Hikari Plains. This is where that village, that mountain range that you saw, which should be looking this way. And this red thing here is the barrier, the force field that I saw earlier, right? So it's looking that way. And the one that you saw with the frames, Senior Nestor, Virgil Village takes place here, right there, Virgil Village with the Tonbori inspired village. And this is the Kingdom of Montefacio, which is French and Spanish, medieval French and medieval Spain inspired. And I just kind of mix those two. They have a lot of overlap anyway. And then here's Astanan, the Kingdom of Astanan. This is like the Viking era, the Viking location, right? And outside of that, this is like ocean, and there's the Bufferlands. This is the Bufferlands. There's a story behind this too, but it won't become important until much later on, right? So what I plan is they start in Inahikari Plains, and then they make their journey to this place here, the Kingdom of Montefacio, and then they go to the Wakan area, which is Aztec Mayan related. And they're over here in Wakan, there's gonna be new creatures. Because this Wakan tree here, this massive tree, was made by the Thunderbird, right? It's like a thunder deity, lightning deity. I believe it's a Northern American Indian kind of deity, the Thunderbird. And I just kind of just twist it a little bit, just to, on my own interpretation. And this tree emits kind of like a calming energy, which calms these creatures that used to be very evil, right? And like the orcs, right? Like the orcs are very evil, and if they get hit by this energy, they become um, a lot more tamed, for lack of a better word. And so they kind of just live here peacefully, and they have like this border dispute between the Kingdom of Montefacio and Astanan. You had finally uploaded my artwork in the Discord. Had to edit it yesterday. Nice, man. Well, I'm not reviewing any artwork today though. I usually do that on a Saturday. So I'll just leave it there, and I'm gonna accumulate some artworks in the Discord once enough comes in for next week. I'll definitely review them. So the Valleji is also the Greek and Roman area. They're not gonna be called that, okay? But that's just the inspiration of the cultures that I got them from, and they're gonna be mixed with fantastical elements too. They're not exactly Roman or Greek, or they're not exactly Aztecs or Mayan, right? But it's gonna be based on those culture. That the root theme, again, for lack of a better word, is gonna be based on that culture. And then the Raikishi area is the Asian, Japanese, Korean, uh, Chinese brand, and you get like these names, right? Chinese, Japanese, and Korean names. And this is where we start off, but we're gonna circle back to here, and then finally we go outside the border. Um, After all that, it's the Dredgelands. I've written a lot about the Dredgelands too, but don't want to reveal too much with that. I just want it to be, you know, it's not relevant for now. So I don't want to talk about the Dredgelands too much. But it's this is once we go outside, it gets really dark, right? It gets really berserky, kind of dark, because there are creatures there that can curse you. There are rules aren't the same. For example, when it rains, there's this creature, right? The voyeur in the rain, and they you have to look down at all times. You can move, you can walk, but you mustn't look up. For example, that's a rule. Or you mustn't talk. If you break any of these rules, then the voyeur in the rain will take something from you. Maybe an eye, maybe a hand, something like that. Maybe your loved ones. And it gets really dark, right? You can really play along with those darker themes. Oh, there's also the what I forgot their names. I wrote it down, okay. But I have a concept where um there's this ever looming presence in the far distance. They're not really harmful. They don't attack you or anything, but you will always feel like somebody is looking at you. Um Even if you're indoors, right, in your inside your tent, you can feel their presence. And there's rules to them too, right? You mustn't look at them. If you notice them, you don't look at them. Otherwise, it's gonna be very difficult to take that feeling off. And seasoned fighters, for example, they have that feeling that there's somebody's watching over them, watching behind them, and so that kind of throws them off when they're fighting. And but they're harmless, right? They don't really attack you. They just have that presence. And they have spatial paradoxes too, kind of like a rainbow. When you drive towards a rainbow, the further it goes, the further it will, it will move alongside you. It's not really a thing that you can go. So it's the same thing with them. You can't really go to these creatures. um so it's like a spatial paradox. Hopefully that makes sense. But I have this written down. I'm pretty sure I can explain it a lot better on a video, you know when I construct my thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream, guys. I gotta feed my family. My son is here. But thank you everybody for watching my stream. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed me trying to explain the world that I'm creating. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is confusing to you all for now, and but hopefully it will become clearer the more I make videos. Maybe hopefully that it'll become clearer the more I make videos, right? Good stuff. We'll talk more about it once we get into our interview, hopefully. All right, I'm really excited about that. But anyways, I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. I don't know how to say goodbye. I'm gonna keep yapping if I don't end the stream. So have a nice day. Bye bye, you.